All righty, guys. This is Public Note the second, and welcome to another live New York session. And it is Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. And today we're going to actually trade the GBP pair, GBP US dollar. And we're going to be implementing our liquidity strategy. And so let's get started. Now, we'll look at the news here. And as we can see on the news, we don't have any major news until about 12:20. It should be out of the market by then. So we're fine from there. So yes, let's go ahead and get started. So we want to start on the daily time frame. So what we typically do on the daily time frame is we actually figure out what direction is the last candle closing. And we can see that it closing bearish here. And the reason why we do that is because it helps us to determine what direction more likely that price is going to go based on a three-bar pattern. So we're talking about accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, okay? So we're going to turn on our kill zone indicator. And you can see, if we zoom in here, that price opened below this candle, okay? So this candle wiped this previous low here, okay? So letting us know that we got some very, very strong bearish volume here. The price is depreciating, so it opened here, closed here. So we can conclude that more likely we're going to see some manipulation of the bulls and then distribution of the bears in a small time frame. Okay. So that's all we're going to do on the daily time frame here. So now what we're going to actually do in the 4 hour is, so let's go to the 4 hour. We're going to go to the 4 hour and we're going to mark up buy side and sell side liquidity and mark up on our 4 hour fair value gap. So we could see that there was some buy side liquidity up here. The wick wiped out this previous high, and it looks like we had a fair value gap closed here, and then price basically traded in this area and then dipped all the way down to this liquidity down here, which we see this low wiped out this previous low. So let's actually mark this out. So this is buy side liquidity here, and sell side liquidity here. Let me pause this recording to do one more thing. Okay, so we have our buy side and sell side liquidity marked. Now, if we turn on our price actions indicator, this is the 4 hour fair value gap. So we can see that price did close with some strength on the bearish side. So let's mark this up as that 4 hour fair value gap here. Let's see, move this over to the right. Probably going to actually do something here. So that's what we have. Now, we're going to go to the 1 hour. See how prices interacting with that 4 hour fair value gap, and then go to the 15-minute. So when we look at the 4 hour fair value gap here, we see that price still hasn't really came trading back up to this area. Now, we might have had a small manipulation move here, but we don't see a 3-bar pattern. So we don't see a 3-bar pattern yet. So at this point, price hasn't fully done its manipulation yet. And that's what I'm looking for. Now, yeah, we haven't seen a full manipulation move with the forwards yet, in my opinion. This may be the manipulation move, maybe not. Let's go to the 15 as well. Let's see. This might be intimidating here. Probably thickest as a 1 hour buy side. You see what's going on in 15 minutes. But when we look at the 15 minute here, yeah, so it looks like we might have already had our bullish manipulation here. We see a 3-bar pattern here. So, yeah, so we have our most recent fair value gap in 15 minutes. So it looks like we had our manipulation of the bulls here. It came very close to this fair value gap and it drops. We had some fair value gaps down here. And then we have the 3-bar pattern. Looks like fair value gap closed here and went down. So we might have had a manipulation already. Now the question is, what we gotta look at is this is our most recent 15-minute fair value gap. So what I would want to see is that we have a 3-bar pattern here. So I would like to see a fair value gap close above this fair value gap and respect it. Then price may be willing to go all the way up to this 4-hour fair value gap. But if price respects this fair value gap and respects this fair value gap and then form a bearish fair value gap and closes below, then I'll probably trade it down to this liquidity here. So that's what we will want to look at. So let's see this done on liquidity. So that's what we want to look at. So price pushing past this already. So I would want to see price close above this. And if price close above some strength, the price might be ready to maybe even go up to this fair value gap here and do a full manipulation and then come back down. So something tells me that price could manipulate all the way up to this fair value gap and then come all the way back down, possibly. Or could just buy all the way up underneath this 4-hour fair value gap. Maybe. But I'm thinking it's going to trade all the way up to here at the most. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this recording. We're going to wait for the market open. Then we'll take it from there. I'll be right back. So it's almost 1:15 p.m. That was about to close in over 2 minutes. You can see that's possibly starting to validate this opposing bearish fair value gap. So we might see a full manipulation at this bearish fair value gap here before price decides to see that down here. It's a possibility. Now, if price validates this fair value gap and closer to some strength above, we may be ready to go up in this 4-hour fair value gap. So we'll just have to play about here and see what happens. So we got a little bit over 1 minute before 9:15 closes. We want to see what happens with pre-net opens. I'll be right back. The 9:15 film is about to close. And we just close this in strength. Now, I'm not going to jump into this trade because I want to see how price respects this fair value gap. So I'm going to wait until pre-market open. Now, if it invalidates this fair value gap with some strength, then I'm going to rise up to this 4-hour. But price put your overall bearish. So if we enter this trade, the price reverses and it put us in a bad situation. So I want to see how it respects this fair value gap first before even having the confidence to go further up. Because we're supposed to be seeing manipulation of the bulls before it disappears. of the bears. So let me actually put that in here. Population of the bulls. Distribution of the bears. That's what I did. I got out there. Once price starts interacting with this fair value gap, that's when we're going to look to read that higher. So we'll see what happens at the pre-market open. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so this is something to keep in mind now. We did say manipulation of the bulls and the bears. And really, in reality, there was a manipulation of bears here before price went to the downside. So this might be a short distribution of the bears because it did hit external liquidity and did a 3-bar pattern here. So this fair value that close might actually be valid. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, I'm probably going to go ahead. Still ready to the 930 candle. Let's see how it's going to interact with this and post a fair value gap. But if it does take that out, then I'm just going to probably get in the trade. Normally, I would get in with this fair value gap close. Since price did distribution here at this point. But it's possible that price could manipulate this fair value gap and then shoot back on down. So really, reality is really depending on what price is going to be at this fair value gap. Because if price decides to come down here and manipulate this area first, then they might be ready to just shoot it up. But if price shoots straight up to here and manipulate this area, then it might be ready to shoot back down some here. That's the reason all the better way to determine what price is going to be at this point. It's pretty much until 10:15 is fake price action at this point. So we want to be sure on exactly where price really wants to go in this situation. So we'll have to really let it out here. But we have about 7 minutes before the market opens. So I'll be right back. All right, so we see that there's an order block from at 32% off of this 3-bar pattern. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter this trade since we have a 3-bar pattern here. Now, normally I don't enter this early, but we'll go ahead and give it a shot. So I'm going to get in, and we'll see how we do. Market hasn't opened yet, but I'm going to make an exception, and we'll take it from there. Just because we have a 3-bar pattern here, the fair value got closed with the order block. Now we'll see if price in dollar basis fair value gap and continues to go up. We just had a touch here. The price might be ready to close above, and that's change direction. And if so, then this was our distribution of the bears, the manipulation, and the sell side ready to go back up. So we'll see. We have about a little bit over 3 minutes before the market opens. So we'll see. So we got about a minute left. And again, the only reason I entered this early is because we had a 3-bar pattern here. Fair value got closed with the order block confirmation on top of that 32%. Looks like the BTC dashboard is letting us know that the buy is sitting at 75%. Anyway, so we'll see how it goes with this buy. We have about 10 seconds. Three, two, one. So we close with some strength as well, and the imbalance. So we'll see what happens here. A little bit, of course. Might come down and manipulate the signals because they close above this tops level as well. It's letting us know that the bears and the bulls are so this point. Some balance here. Price might be ready to push up. So if I end up getting into some deep profit, then I will resume this report. I'll be right back. Looks like we might be gaining some volume. So I'm in profit now, and we'll see. Once I get my profit and close my trade, I'll resume the my recording. And share my results. I'll be right back. This might be the manipulation move. So it might be respecting this fair value gap here. But we'll need to see that price is going to respect. We'll have to see if price is going to respect this fair value gap down here. Because it did close with strength here. So it might be actually ready to actually do the manipulation of the bear at the we'll have to see what the next candle does though. Next candle just closed. The price might be just sort of pulling back on this fair value gap, or it might come back down if you're in the fair value. So we'll have to play right here and see. So I'll be right back. All right, so it's possible that we had a short manipulation here. It's technically wiped out this previous candle. So it might be a sign that it's ready to go up further. But we'll see. I'm just thinking out loud. I'll be right back. Now the 10 o'clock candle is closed. We'll see if this candle does. Okay. Well, just to give you guys an update, I wouldn't be surprised if price wants to trade to this fair value gap here. And then go further up. If we manipulate this fair value gap, so we never know, and not to that the line this fair value gap pull back and pull well, or go back down to this equipment. So we'll see. But I'll be right back. All right, so this looks like our manipulation candle here. It looks like we're getting a fair value gap close finally. So it looks like it manipulated the sale. Um, so we'll see what the next candle does. If the next candle closes its strength, it might be ready to go further down. So we have about 4 minutes. So we got less than a minute left. We'll see if this candle closes with some strength, and if it does, yeah, we know that it's definitely ready to be at the guy. Let's see. Close with some bullish strength. So let's see what it ends up doing. And this is really almost some fair value gap here. But yeah, I'm going to hold this. That strength. The strength in this fair value gap here. 10-15 now. Supporting. Once I get into this, we're going to get into some profit out of the game. Also, just remember as well, price is also respecting this change of character as well. With this big wick here, this is a huge sign that there's a lot of buying pressure from the institutions. So that's why I'm going to hold this trade. So once I get into profit, I was in this report. So I'll be right back. Looks like I'm starting to make some profit here. $40 in profit, maybe 35 if I can. Yeah, posing fair value gap is getting validated. Looks like it. I'll be right back. Look like price pushing up. Let me see if I get the 40, 45, 44, 44, 45, 45. All right, we're out. Thanks. Took some commissions out, so we made $44.80. So that's good. So the account is up $2,540. So now let's go ahead and share the main screen here. So as you can see, price manipulated this area. And then we closed with a fair value got closed here. Now, of course, we entered in early here. So we held the trade and did a healthy pullback in this area. Fair value got closed and it validated this previous fair value gap over here. So they're probably going to want to run up to here before maybe decide to go back down again, or they may be ready to go fully reverse. But we actually did good on this trade because, as we talked about, it's going to be manipulation of the bulls and distribution of the bears. So either there's going to be full manipulation of the bulls here, and then price is going to come down and go even further, or the banks already did the manipulation of the bears, got their liquidity here, and then decided to fully reverse here. So we'll only know as time goes on. But as you notice, right here at the bottom, we had a good 3-bar pattern here mixed with the fair value gap. We had our manipulation candle here, manipulation wick here, and then our rejection candle with the fair value drop, and then we had a first fair value gap close here, and then we actually got in here. So we could have got it in earlier, but we actually got into a good entry, but price actually did a healthy pullback and then pushed up to here. But it's a possibility that price could tap up into here and then maybe pull back and go back there. But we did decent on this trade here, and we made some money on our, this is our Eagle FX live account that we just made money off of. And I'll share my screen so you guys can see. I kind of showed you already, but like I mentioned before, $44.80. So now the account is at $40. That's good. It's a lot back. They did good. That's it for this session, guys. So I will see you guys next time. Take care.